play really great too. I mean, you saw what he did against Magnus to start the show off earlier. And Levon, a wild card player, enjoying his opportunity, playing the Gioco piano.
Italian game, right?
Yes, the Italian, the quiet game. Oh, no D2, D3, moves knight C3. Quite off the beaten, quite off the beaten track there, Var.
Yes, D3 or rook E1 are more popular. Knight C3 still played.
Knight A4, inviting knight takes E4. I'm assuming bishop D5, knight takes E4. Why can't I take a peshki?
Actually, you can take. That's the top move in the position. Knight takes C4, D3. And here you have two options. You can go back on F6, but then after that you're slightly worse. After knight takes C5, D takes C5, rook E1. You're going to have some problems with the E5 pawn in this position. Or you can, if you don't want to go back to F6, you can play the move knight takes F2 in this position. And if you take rook F2, actually this is a bad position for white here, because two good pawns in exchange, and black is better here. C5, knight takes C5, and there is the move knight G5. Very complicated position. Even here, position is not clear, guys. There is a move F5, but
sorry, Var, I just got to interrupt you because the players have really gone in a completely different direction. Okay. Yeah, and the current position, I want to ask you: is it still theory, or did they deviate? Where was the novelty?
No moves in my database.
No bishop G6, and it's always the tension of having pushed the pawn shield forward, or the weakness of the white king versus the, I want to say, offside passive bishop. How to judge that? That's really. Knight H2.
Knight H2 is a little surprising. Knight H4 looked very logical, right?
Much more compelling, definitely. Okay, but a single idea. I want to play F2, F4. Potentially, if I can play rook takes F6 and make sure that bishop is a prisoner for the rest of the game, I'm very happy to sacrifice the exchange of those positions. So F2, F4 is on white's agenda. Var, how is black supposed to cross up white's plans?
Actually, black should play a very active move in this position, Queen A2.
Queen A2?
Yeah, that's a logical move, activating the queen, putting pressure on B3, and also keep an eye on the B2 pawn. And if you play the move F4 there, E takes F6. See, like he can take bishop F4 here, but in that line, you cannot take with the bishop because you would drop the B2 pawn.
You're right.
That was the idea.
Yeah, just to keep the bishop under arrest. But now bishop takes F4. There's a bishop takes H6 sighting. We see the knight go back to D7 and knight F3. Feels like white has the freer game, and maybe this bishop is in danger of being offsides.
I don't know. I think if black queen comes back now, queen D8, I didn't want to allow knight H4. That was my idea.
To stop
Black
knight
was doing okay.
I don't know. I've got a hook here. I'm still thinking that queen D2 and bishop takes H6 could be on the agenda. Knight D4.
That attack might backfire.
It won't be my last attempt at a backfire, I must say.
The white king is also quite weak. Actually,
Yes.
weaker than black's king at the moment. So.
Yes, it's true. My favorite move, G4, G2, is not permitted. Queen back to D8. You wanted to say that you'd like that a move ago. Stopping knight H4.
And if white plays knight F5, I think black can just take it.
Yeah, funnily enough, I would be reluctant to play knight F5. Wow, knight C5 came
Guess
very
knight's going to
quickly.
E6.
True, but I like what you said about just taking that knight off the board. I would have seen this piece as a danger piece, but knight coming back to E6. Var feels like black is stabilized nicely.
Yeah, black is fine here. One of the ideas of the knight C5 is if you play the move B4, he wants to put the knight on E6, which will give him good protection on G7, and also he's getting ready to play the move D5.
Right, which is the breakout move that black always aspires to in these types of structures. After all, the rook is on E file. he would love to see an open e-file. So d6, d5 on black's agenda. b4, knight e6, as advertised. Queen f3. That does put a little bit of a kibosh on d5. Here I would be tempted just to trade
Take
everything.
on f5 and then take on f4?
Precisely. And follow it up with
Black's-
queen g5. And I
Or
think
queen
I'm just,
f6, yeah.
yeah, I
Black looks
think
very
I'm just
safe.
very, very happy, or comfortable, I would say, here.
And Wesley plays
d6,
d5.
d5. Again, he's thinking, you take my pawn, I'll take your bishop, and I'll recapture, and I'm happy camper.
But can I push e5?
Yes, but it's permitted, but do you want to? That's the thing. It's like the pawn could be artificially isolated. After e5, I would probably play d4, and not to let you play d3, d4, if I will. And it's possible that the pawn on e5 could become a liability. But yeah, from White's point of view, how does he keep the game alive, Var?
Yeah, I like that your suggestion of d4 after the move e5, and I think black is actually maybe even a little bit better in that position. So now after the move d5, e5 he has to go for it. If he doesn't, he took.
He took. So he is inviting bishop takes f5, as
So
well
just
as knight takes
Knight
f4,
f4, queen takes d5. I
which
like
is
that.
which is the initial intention. You regain the pawn, but more importantly, this rook is looking to set up an immediate counterattack with rook e2, pawn on d3 hanging.
And white pawns are quite weak. A couple of different weak pawns.
This did not pan out.
Like rook e2 right now.
Yeah, this did not pan out whatsoever for Levon, and I think he would be very happy
To make a draw.
yeah, to make a draw, rook e2, rook f2, and a repetition. He'd be very happy to get out of dodge. And by the way, while we'll stay with this game, we do get reports that Maggie
Magnus is winning
and
again.
Anish are both winning. We'll stay with this. The move c7, c6, just getting out of any potentials of queen takes e7. Rook e2 is not going away. I don't know. I'm just not liking White's position.
Now white has to be very careful.
Very careful. Things could easily go wrong.
And Levon has 1 minute less than Wesley, so that's a factor
Knight
as well.
g3, just covering a business square on the e-file. He didn't want to see the rook landing on e2, but now we see a very, very good bishop, which is doing a great job defending f7, defending the king. And basically, with everything well defended on the king side, black can go for broke on the queen side. I love this move, queen b3.
And black's queen and bishop can use the white squares to move around wherever Wesley pleases to.
Exactly.
Bishop d3, c4.
Clock time's a factor.
Levon has minute and 10 seconds, and Wesley has 2 minutes, so twice as much time for Wesley.
Good position for Wesley. Good position on the clock as well. b5, just fixing the structure. Var, what's your take? Realistic chances of winning, but because Levon's position's solid.
Very solid, and there are no really weaknesses for Levon here. Now he played the move h4. It shows that he's still ambitious, I guess. But this move could backfire because now he has weak on the g4. He could have just simply put the king on h2, put the rook on f2, and just see how black is going to try to improve the position.
Yeah.
But with the clock situation, I definitely like Wesley's chances right now. But I'm not sure what is this h4 move going to do now, because it seems like now g4 pawn is weak, and you don't really want to play g5 here. And now Wesley is trying to improve his bishop.
Yeah, the bishop could either come to e6, tickling g4, or even the rather dominant square d5. I was also looking at queen e6 immediately just a moment ago, just asking White, go ahead, tell me what you're doing about g4. We do have bishop f7, rook f2, and your take.
No, h4 was really surprising.
Yeah.
I guess Levon has.
By
I
the
just
way,
heard
breaking news.
Ricci recovered and won his game against
Who did he beat?
Wojtaszek.
Okay.
And Magnus has won his game.
And who did Magnus beat?
Kirill Shevchenko.
So Magnus is beating up the youngster. there.
Yes.
Queen to d5. Queen dropped back.
Do you think
And-
Levon has ideas to still attack Black's king with g5 at some point?
No question about it. I'm not a big fan of the last few moves by Wesley. And Queen f4, Knight f5.
Rook e1 looks scary.
Oh, excuse me. No, that's well, Rook e4 invites Queen b8 check. No, Queen b8, Queen
King
f8.
h7.
Whoa, what? Queen b8, Queen f8. I want to mate you. They told me that checkmate ends the game.
Rook g4.
Rook g4.
Oh, that's a
Capture.
good defense. Sorry, Rook
and-
takes G. Good morning,
Levon
St.
spent
Louis.
a lot of time. Maybe he didn't see it either because he came down to 5 seconds.
Whoa,
He's playing on 5 seconds now, and his position looks very uncomfortable.
it sure does. There was a mate on H1. Rook G2 looks a little awkward.
And if Black just plays Queen e4 now, what is White's next move?
I see Bishop D5. Queen E4 with the idea Bishop D5 and Wesley. He missed it. He missed it.
Well, that's the curse of time trouble. It's very hard to find the accurate moves. But
And-
Levon's just picking up pawns on the queen side?
Wait a minute.
That's
What is
risky.
Rook E2? What is H5? This is
Oh,
really
H5.
scary.
What a great move, H5.
And Levon has no time. Levon is just losing on time.
Oh, I think Wesley's winning now. H5 was brilliant.
Check.
Oh, wow.
What
I
a
think checkmate's coming.
checkmate is coming.
Oh, no.
Queen E2. And who's
Wow.
leapfrogging who?
Wesley,